Welcome to Business Talk, presented in collaboration with the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, from the heart of southeastern Ohio at the University of Rio Grande TV studio. Our goals are simple: promote the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, as well as advocate local small business and their support organizations. More importantly, promote southeastern Ohio as a wonderful place to live, explore, and learn. There are many different ways you can find us. The University of Rio Grande Cable Access Channel 17, live online at blogtalkradio.com, and on YouTube if you are unable to catch our show live. Introducing our co-hosts, Jason Winters, Mike Thompson, Patrick Dengel. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show.
Good afternoon. You're watching Business Talk, and today we have a special guest, Kaleb Patten, who is the president of Kappa Epsilon.
Kappa Epsilon.
Yeah, Kappa Epsilon, the Rho Pi chapter on the campus of Rio Grande.
Mike and Jason, I've never had the opportunity to be on a fraternity.
On a fraternity?
Or in a fraternity.
Okay.
By a fraternity, with a fraternity, whatever.
Well, you mean, sure you had the opportunity.
No.
You went to college.
Well, on my undergraduate, it was in the seminary, and therefore we did not have, it was all men there.
But that's a sacred fraternity, right?
It is a fraternity.
But not in a Greek sense.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It was more the Roman sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Because the Freemasons are considered to be a fraternity if you were a part of the Masonic life or exposed to the Masonic life. That is actually the world's oldest, and I guess you could, by the virtue of being the oldest, largest fraternity in the world.
That may be so, but this was a Catholic seminary, and so Mason at that time, way back before the turn of the century.
They were probably evil at that time, weren't they?
Well, the Masonic individuals and the Roman Catholics did not see eye to eye.
Yeah, not many have seen eye to eye with the Roman Catholics over the years.
Well, I think that's enough about religion. Let's talk business.
But anyway, as I was saying, I've never had the opportunity. Were you involved, Jason, in
the Greek life and college?
Yes.
No, I wasn't. I guess I was kind of a non-traditional student in the sense that I was married before I finished college. So the extracurricular Greek life didn't really appeal to me. I had friends that were in fraternities, and they enjoyed themselves, and I hold nothing but for respect for a lot of the community service work that some of the Greeks perform. But no, personally, I did not.
I know that you, Mike, have been very active as an advisor here at the University of Rio Grande in the fraternities.
Right. I've been sort of involved with the Tekes since the mid-'90s, early '90s. Since I've been here, hired different people and helped them out with different activities and things. So I didn't go through their
process.
Yeah, the education process, but I've done enough for them that I've earned the letters, I suppose. The other one that I actually earned the letters for is the U.S. Army. Huh. So I pledged the Army.
The big fraternity.
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
But anyway. You've worked with Kaleb for a year, 2 years, 3 years?
Several years. I was there when he was pledged and got in. Huh. Gave him some hard times back in the day.
I've known Mike since I was, well, I guess I can't say since I was knee high. I haven't been knee high for a while.
Yeah.
But I've known him for several years.
Several years. And I know that being in the Greek part or the aspect at the University of Rio Grande, they're very supportive of different fraternities and different sororities.
I think they should be, because one of the things that's proven through some of the numbers is that people stay in school if they are involved. and being involved in some sort of organization, fraternities and sororities included, will make you persist in college.
Oh, the numbers say that nationally, 71% of all fraternity and sorority members graduate from college, and only about 50% of non-members of Greek organizations end up graduating from college. So that in and of itself indicates that most Greek organizations, if not all Greek organizations, help with promoting academia.
Yeah, it's serves somewhat as a support system since you've left home and you don't have a drill sergeant to look after you. You have all these guys that will have your back and help you out. Your car doesn't start or whatever. You've got your family now at school that will help you out instead of your family at home after you've left.
They're the guys or gals who you can count on for anything. If you need help with your schoolwork, with personal life,
Getting
or
bailed
if
out of
something,
getting bailed out of jail.
with some of them, if something happens and you
let's
need
hope
help,
it.
you.
I've been there, done that.
So where does the history come in with the Greek life? Where did the Greek life start?
I'm not sure if that's back to the education of the Greeks, where you had the guys walking around in the
Obviously,
robes.
it started with Alpha,
Yeah.
and then went from there, and now we're in 3 and 4. I believe there are some 4-letter fraternities and sororities. So there are fraternities and sororities in every country.
And I know that the University of Rio Grande has had many years of fraternities.
Greek life,
and,
yes.
Yeah. Who were some of the notable ones, individuals from the Tekes?
Well, on this campus, Bevo Francis was a member of Tau Kappa Epsilon.
He wasn't when he was going here, but he's an honorary member.
Yeah, I believe he was. Was he a member of Alpha Delta Epsilon? Which Alpha Delta Epsilon is what
I don't think so, but I'm
became-
not sure.
Well, he is known as a honorary member of the.
Because I think he's
Ropai
on the
chapter.
scroll.
Yes, he is. If he signed the scroll, then he is a member.
Right.
And some notable individuals have been, Ronald Reagan, President Reagan?
Ronald Reagan was a member of Tau Kappa Epsilon. He actually, during most of his presidential addresses, wore his Teke pin on his left breast.
He should have
Another
wore it
honor-
on his
yeah.
coat, but
Another honorary member of Tau Kappa Epsilon was Elvis Presley.
Elvis?
The current world's largest athlete, or what they like to call as the world's largest athlete, the Big Show, is a member of Tau Kappa Epsilon as well.
And the upstanding film star, Ron Jeremy. I always liked that.
Actually, all but 2 presidents since 1825 have been members of Greek organizations. John F. Kennedy was a member of a Greek organization. The majority of our congressmen and women, 85% of the Supreme Court justices since 1910 have been members of Greek organizations. A lot of our U.S. military generals are Greeks.
One of the things that we like to, as members of fraternities, to like advertise or sell becoming part of a Greek organization, is that it gives you leadership skills and the skills to running a business. So that may be a good tie to business talk, because everyone has if it's small, everyone has a job. You have
everyone
president,
has,
vice president, secretary, the financial, marketing, all that stuff, and they run events, and it's run as a business. They have to I don't know if you say make money, but as an organization, you're supposed to raise money, and in doing so, you run this business, and so you, become leaders in your own right.
So it's not all about Animal House.
No. Very little of it is about Animal House. We actually spend most of our time trying to give back to the community. Kappa Epsilon itself is actually pledged as a national, an international organization to raise $1 million for St. Jude's Medical Center. Each chapter has been given the task to raise $1,000 a year for St. Jude's. St. Jude's Children's or Cancer Research Hospital was actually founded by one of our members.
Danny Thomas, right?
Yep.
Uh-huh. And so he was a Tau Kappa Epsilon.
Yep, he was a Teke.
Yeah.
He was a member of Kappa Epsilon.
And it's rather interesting. He used to, he was a Roman Catholic that was on his way to stardom, and he spent a lot of time praying to St. Jude, impossible cases, and it's rather interesting. I don't know the full story, so I'm going to just give you the gist. But he's told St. Jude that if he were successful in some of his endeavors, he would begin St. Jude Hospital. And it was through just not his work, but in that fraternity sense, similar to what you're doing probably, is raising money so that it could be developed.
Yep. We're actually trying to get the faculty involved in that as well.
Well, as a matter of fact, don't you have some of the faculty now? Haven't they been involved?
Scott and Barbara Michael have both helped us with raising money for that. What we did is we went out to their home, did some work around the house, and some of their money, half of the money that they gave us, is going to help St. Jude's Medical Center.
Oh, very good.
And
Very
we're
good.
also working with the new psychology teacher on campus, Dr. Duncan, and are helping him out with some maintenance around his house, and he's going to be helping us with that as well.
Very good.
So if you need your goat pens cleaned,
Shoveled,
call them up.
pitchfork.
So this is sort of an activity that you're doing. You know, every fraternity has to do, 100 hours of
Community service.
community service? Is that right?
We are required to do, somewhere around 100 hours. Due to the number of members that we have on the campus, it's a little hard, but I believe last year we did in excess of 200 to 300 hours. Our chapter did
Oh, that's
alone.
fantastic. That is fantastic.
So
Now,
What are some of the projects you've done here locally?
we have helped with the snack pack program. We do.
what is a snack pack?
Snack pack is a program that was developed by the local school systems towards helping feed the less well-off students in the elementary schools.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, that's great.
We do work towards cleaning up some of the parks on campus, and we raise money, as I said before, for St. Jude's Medical Center.
Now, is the community development a requirement of the University of Rio Grande, or is it part of Tau Kappa Epsilon?
A little bit of both. The university, one of the main things that the All Greek Council, or what is soon to be the President's Council, does every year is they require all of the members of the Greek organizations to go to I forget what the name of the park is, up on Lake Drive, it's across from the
It's like a
the
Rio Grande Community
Elementary-
Park.
Yeah, the Rio Grande Community Park. We go there and we help pick up trash, remove any limbs that have fallen from the trees, and generally make the park better than it was before.
That is
We've
fantastic.
installed benches, we've installed tables, and helped with making the community better around Rio Grande.
And that's you asked about the Animal House thing. That is one difference between Greek organizations here and maybe at OU or something, is that at those places your dues are higher, but you're paying for a house to live in. Here at Rio Grande, we don't have fraternity houses or sorority houses that you live in. It's more of the organizational part of it. Yeah, on other campuses, part of the perk of being in a Greek organization is having a house to live in, and sometimes they even hire a person to cook for them. So there's a group living arrangement that you would have.
But even with those, only a select few are actually given access to the house. So not all people are, I guess, on equal footing there. Whereas in the environment here at Rio Grande, you have that closer knit, smaller community that allows for everybody to be of equal footing. It makes it a lot easier to accomplish things when no one's bickering over who's the chief guy in charge.
I remember back from my days in college, again, it was a larger institution, and there were a lot of different fraternities, and it seemed like every fraternity had their little niche. Some were athletics, some were, this organization, that organization. They had their members belong to a certain group. Is that how it is here? Do we have multiple fraternities,
We do.
sororities?
We currently have 4 fraternities on the campus. The oldest being Alpha Chi Nu. From there, in age on the campus is starting with Alpha Chi Nu, Alpha Sigma Phi, which is another national fraternity on the campus, and Tau Kappa Epsilon, the largest Greek organization in the world. And then we have a new kid on the block that started up just last spring, Zeta Alpha Rho. They're doing some good things on the campus, and I look forward to seeing how they develop throughout their time on the campus.
So what's the difference between the 4?
They're principles for the most part. Alpha Chi Nu, I do not know much about what they are about. Alpha Sigma Phi, their ideals are fairly close to ours, where we strive to make our men better, to make them...
You're growing leaders from the community.
Yeah, it's our Tau Kappa Epsilon's motto is better men for a better world. So we try to develop our members towards being productive members of society who can function well within a management position if they are pushed into that position, because all of them have experience at least a small scale with managing a business, because ultimately a fraternity is a business. You have your president, who is, you could look at as being your
The CEO.
your CEO. You have your vice president, would be an example of a general manager. You have your treasurer, you have your secretaries, and you have almost any position that you can find in the business world is represented by an office in Greek life.
I guess one thing, getting to your question, is
I did get
I think
off
you
topic, didn't I?
No, you did right.
you were almost had the idea that we had people get into certain things because they were a member of whatever organization. People are drawn to these organizations because they feel more at home with, a certain group of people. So if one's more athletic, more athletes will tend to go to that one. If one's more
Business oriented.
business or whatever, then they just kind of congregate and they separate themselves out that way. It's not that it's a requirement that you do certain things in whatever fraternity. And there are other fraternities on campus. Like there's an English honors fraternity, or not fraternity, or organization. And there's a history honors society, and there's other ones like that too, but that's men and women together. But that's another sort of organization.
So, and we also have, to make sure that we don't in any way give the listening audience the bad impression. We have a number of sororities at the University of Rio Grande here also.
That we do. We actually have more sororities on this campus than we do fraternities. We do not have any national sororities on this campus. Some of them moved down from national status to local status because it is a little bit easier to maintain that way. But we have various organizations. I forget all of the letters involved in some of their names, but we have Alpha Mu Beta, we have Chi Omega Alpha, we have Zeta Theta Chi, we have Delta Theta, and then we have our Lambda organization.
And so each one of the sororities.
Lambda, is it? I'm sorry.
Forgive
me. I'm probably going to get a smack for it, but
but at least you tried.
I tried. I did.
But what you're saying is that the fraternity and the sororities are groups of individuals getting together to
Make a better world.
Make a better world. It sounds like the emphasis is, first of all, we start with ourselves, how we can
Better ourselves so that
better
we can
ourselves.
better our community by being better individuals.
And have fun doing it.
Yes.
And so
Now,
that's where,
there's okay. I guess that another thing we could talk about too, in the having fun is activities. And what do you do? And the first thing you have to do used to be called pledging.
Mm-hmm.
Now, pledging scares a lot of people,
By the
especially
terminology.
parents and everything else, and seeing
Well,
some of these movie stereotypes of them.
there's some real reason for that. I mean, back when I was in college for the first time, there was a lot of hazing that went along with
Right.
pledging,
and
which I
hazing
understand
is,
now is illegal.
forcing you to
It's-
drink or
yeah.
eat or whatever, forcing you to
do things that you
crazy
normally would not
things.
do.
Right.
Yes.
And I think Kappa Epsilon has done a pretty good job of changing
away
that
from
ideal to making it, it's not pledging anymore, it's
an
called the education process. And it's not so much about making you do stupid things. But the stupid things are kind of nice because what it is meant to do is to build your brotherhood. Right.
So give me an example of what
Just-
a stupid thing would be.
Go out and build a snowman.
He could tell you, but then he'd have to kill you.
Well, no.
But it's just like the army. You have to go through some hard things, and that forms your team.
But
better.
it's not the dangerous kinds of activities.
No, huh?
No.
No, what I went through in the army is much, much worse. I mean, I laugh at the stuff that they do. It's just silly and harmless things. We do no physical bodily harm. There is nothing you have to be worried about for yourself. You're not going to get sick or whatever. You may get tired, but the things we do are meant to form a bond. The reason you go through things together, say like in the army, the process there is to form the bond and make a team, so that you work as a group and not as individuals.
By the time our boys are done with the education process, they have developed a friendship that will last them a lifetime. They develop a relationship with people who will have their back in any circumstance. All they need to do is ask,
And
and they will come help them.
one of the things that they're taught is and it's not necessarily in these terms, if one person messes up, they all did. So
It's
they have to
teamwork.
work as a team.
As a team.
If somebody fails, then why didn't you pick him up?
It's not all about you. It's about what you can do for your compatriots, your friends, for
Right.
your brothers.
And you maybe not have known these guys before, but when you're done with the education process, you are best of friends.
You know them better than you probably have known any of your other friends ever.
Now it's my understanding, Caleb, that you were born and raised in Gallipolis, Ohio, which is about 8 miles or 8 minutes from here
I was born in Columbus and raised in Gallipolis, Ohio.
in Gallipolis.
So I have been in this area for quite a while, for as long as I can remember.
And you took the opportunity of staying on campus,
And I did.
and you are staying with your Teke members.
Yep, I'm staying with two of my brothers, Charlie Rexroad and Cody Fox. We tend to have quite a bit of fun in the dorm rooms, and we help each other out whenever it comes to homework and anything else that we need assistance with. We have a good time up in the dorms.
But also, I'm quite sure there's a lot of studying to do.
Yeah, it's not all just fun and games. The university, being where it's at in a small community, helps a lot with making it easier to study.
There's fewer distractions.
Much fewer distractions, and it's actually I like the campus. It's a very good place. The area that it's in is pretty. It's easy to get around. It's not hard to find anything around. It's a nice place to be.
How about the food? What's the food like? It's not like mom's cooking.
No, it's not like mom's cooking.
Depends on your mom, though. It could.
Well, yeah, that's true. No, my mom's a fairly good cook. I better make that statement before she finds this and gets on me. The food's good. I think that the cooks should be given a little bit more leeway when it comes to what they can do. But
when you have to please everyone.
yeah,
Right.
cooking
Sometimes
on
you
a mass
please
scale,
no
you have
one.
to make a sacrifice somewhere.
I don't know.
I mean, there's
The salad bar's good.
yeah.
You
Well,
it's got
I
everything
have
on it
heard,
that you
I've
want a salad bar.
heard from you, Jason, and you, Mike, that the food is very, very good here at the university.
But you eat something every day, and after a while, you kind of get tired of it. You get tired of mom's cooking.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
Just
the
a-
garden, but by the time September gets here, I've
Yep.
eaten an awful lot of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's one food group that I would never get upset with, and that would be pizza. I would have pizza every day.
That is available every day on the campus.
Oh, very good.
And either the cyber cafe or the cafeteria. Aside from the pizza, there's actually a fairly diverse food group that comes through. There's food for anybody. If you're a vegetarian, you should not go hungry on this campus. If you don't like your veggies, you will not go hungry on this campus. There is food for anybody here.
Good. We only have about 30 seconds. If there's one thing that you would like to leave the listening audience about the Teke or the fraternity life or the University of Rio Grande, what would that be?
Come join us. We would be more than happy to have you here, and we would just love to see more people come here and come be a part of the campus life and Greek life on this campus.
And if you are faculty or administration here at the University of Rio Grande and you would like to have Teke members earn money that will go to the student activities and to St. Jude's,
Yes,
you are available.
that we are. And we'd be more than willing and happy to help with any job that they have around the house. And along those lines, we also have insurance if That's a
Something
concern.
gets breaking-
Yeah, if that's a
broken-
concern, we have
breaking.
insurance.
Well, Caleb, we appreciate you being on Business Talk today.
It was a pleasure being here.
You've been listening to Kaleb Patten. He is the chapter president of Tau Kappa Epsilon here on the campus of the University of
Kappa
Rio
Epsilon.
Grande, and I said it incorrectly, and that's okay. But your grade will be out shortly, Caleb.
So he said it right, didn't he?
I'm Jason.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Kaleb Patten.
Thank you for listening.